Hi, I'm Theresa Fetsch, Development Director for Rain and Sarcoma. I have Julie and Miranda Mead with me. Hello, you guys.
Hi,
Miranda,
Teresa.
Hi.
Hello.
Miranda, we'd love you to share your sarcoma story with us.
I'd love to. My name is Miranda Mead, and I am almost a 4-year Ewing sarcoma survivor. I was originally diagnosed on December 1st, 2015, and they found a tumor in my sacrum and in my lungs. And I had 14 rounds of chemotherapy. I had 31 days of proton radiation down at Mayo and multiple surgeries to deal with my cancer. And here I am 4 years later. I'm a typical college student. I go to St. Thomas and I am majoring in business communications.
Wonderful. I'm a St. Thomas alum, so go Tommies.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a couple questions. Julie, how did you hear about Rain and Sarcoma's named funds and just Rain and Sarcoma in general?
Well, early on in Miranda's diagnosis, we were maybe a month in, and you can imagine that was a very overwhelming time. And so I was really looking to connect with somebody else who had done this and what was it like. And so I called the number, I Googled it, called the number on Rain and Sarcoma, and it was like 7 o'clock at night. And I literally got a call like 45 minutes later. And I was shocked to have heard back from someone so quickly. And anyway, they called and we talked a little bit. And then Rain and Sarcoma has been incredibly supportive throughout our journey. And so we had kind of an ongoing rapport with them throughout. And then what happened is about a year after Miranda's all her treatment ended, Miranda had an opportunity with her high school to raise some money. And so Miranda and her high school raised about $15,000, and we suddenly needed to figure out who did we want that to go to. And it really wasn't that hard of a decision for us. We immediately went with Rain and Sarcoma. And when we started talking to Rain and Sarcoma, they suggested to us that we do a named fund. And I was really excited about a named fund because for me, it felt like it not only honored everything Miranda had been through, but also celebrated all her achievements and her being a survivor. So that's really how we became aware of a named fund.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So you started that to honor her and to celebrate her.
Absolutely. I mean, she's been through a lot, and to me, just to have her name on something. And another really key thing was we had so many people wanting to support and help in some way. And so I think it felt really good for people to be able to give to her fund because they didn't want to support just any cancer. They wanted to support sarcoma.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So elaborate a little bit, on the importance of to have a named fund for Miranda as a survivor.
You want to talk or me?
Go for it.
Well, for me, as a survivor, we have been able to direct funds to the Miranda Mead Fund. And one of the things, sarcoma is not a very common cancer. The word rare comes out an awful lot of the time. And so when you're looking at different organizations that are raising money for cancer, my concern has always been, what about sarcoma? It is so rare that many doctors can go an entire lifetime without running into a sarcoma patient. And so to me, that we were able to do a named fund for sarcoma was huge because that's where we wanted the money to go to. That's where we wanted the focus to go to. Where, sarcoma is not as big as breast cancer or prostate cancer. And they have these huge awareness programs. Sarcoma, most people kind of go, what's that? And so it was also about being able to bring awareness to sarcoma and again, direct the funds to Rain and Sarcoma, which to us was such a valuable thing. Because one of the things that's great about Rain and Sarcoma is that it provides amazing patient support, which we saw. It educates not just the public, but also medical professionals about what is sarcoma. And then finally, and I think this might be the thing I'm most excited about, is the research opportunities that Rain and Sarcoma helps to fund. Because end of the day, it would be great if we could find a cure, find better treatments, all of that.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, what would you say to other patients or survivors or family members who might consider starting a named fund?
I would highly encourage it just because it's a great way to provide like hope and inspiration to current patients going through treatment and just being able to kind of see that finish line and see that end goal of creating like a survivor named fund is such a promising kind of outcome. It's filled with hope and inspiration, and I would really encourage a lot of people to do this because for me, it's a great feeling to know that I'm helping to contribute to hope and inspiration in general.
Wonderful. So, how about do you have a vision for the Rain and Sarcoma Named Fund program at all? Have you thought about that?
I've been giving it a little bit of thought, and I believe that if we could get more survivors donating and creating a name fund, it would kind of just increase this overall morale and be like, oh wow, like these survivors are making these name funds, and maybe the money that they raise is kind of helping contribute to these survivors. So I would definitely encourage that because I don't know, it's just a great way to provide hope and inspiration. And
I would agree. You know, when you get diagnosed with cancer, it's not just a moment in your life. It becomes something that doesn't define you, but something that, you know, you carry with you your whole life. And so something like a named fund is an ability to keep involved and also just again to look at the ways that you can celebrate and honor your survivor, to stay in communications. And like Miranda said, it's hope. And we know that that money is making a difference. And it's just as important to us. And the other thing too that was huge is when Miranda was first diagnosed, I mean, there were people that everyone wanted to help and everyone wanted, what can we do? And so people are looking for ways to help and to give back. And in turn, we helped, like we were giving back. You know, we felt that we could do something positive as well.
Well, we at Rain and Sarcoma appreciate it so much and are so grateful that you have a named fund as a survivor. So
yeah.
thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.